6 million children aged 3 to 17 have been diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD, according to the 2016 to 2019 data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. The National Institute of Mental Health cites the prevalence of ADHD diagnoses in adults aged 18 to 44 as 4.4%. Some signs and symptoms of ADHD are distractibility, forgetfulness, impulsivity, and neurodivergent thinking. Occupational therapy practitioners have an essential role in improving occupational performance for people with ADHD by supporting strengths, addressing needs, and recommending modifications and accommodations. People with ADHD can require support for engaging in one or multiple meaningful activities. Challenges with these activities may include leisure activities, activities of daily living, social activities, educational activities, and/or pre-vocational and vocational activities. A study from the National Institute of Health found that children with ADHD can demonstrate argumentative attitudes, decreased focus, and frustration that can negatively impact their participation in team sports. However, the psychosocial-related aspects of ADHD are not the only things that can impede participation in sports and other leisure activities. A 2019 study found that fine motor deficits were more prevalent in children with ADHD. Fine motor impairments can affect engagement in activities of daily living. Some activities affected can include manipulating fasteners on clothing during dressing, undressing, and toileting, orienting clothing correctly on the body due to decreased attention when getting dressed, using handheld eating utensils for eating, keeping track of finances, and paying bills on time. Occupational therapists have an essential role in improving occupational performance for people with ADHD. People with ADHD can appear to have impaired social skills when they have ADHD-related socialization difficulties. These challenges can be displayed as difficulty staying on topic. Family, friends, and peers can have difficulty engaging in a topic-specific conversation with the person who has ADHD. This can cause frustration for both parties, making each feel like they are not being heard by the other, or making impulsive decisions that can fracture relationships with others. Signs and symptoms that can mask other skills include getting distracted when others are talking, especially if more than one person speaks. This can cause a person with ADHD to miss important information at home, at work, or in the classroom. A child with ADHD may struggle with participating in group projects at school or completing individual work when others are talking in the classroom. Impulsive speaking in class can be perceived as rude or disruptive. Repeated outbursts can be seen as intentional and lead to consequences at school. Difficulty expressing thoughts and needs. Students with ADHD may not have their needs adequately met because they cannot organize their thoughts to request assistance or to complete class assignments. This is not limited to school-age children, but also students in higher education that are required to do more self-advocacy to garner academic support. Engagement in pre-vocational and vocational activities can be hindered by difficulty organizing thoughts and information to complete work tasks or forgetting details or important information can make it appear that the worker does not value what was said or is careless with deadlines. Occupational therapists are skilled in helping people with ADHD increase functional performance by addressing barriers to occupational performance. Occupational therapists can provide clients and caregivers with client-centered techniques that support a person's strengths and provide education for environmental modifications to increase success. Occupational therapists can assist by teaching the person with ADHD to break down instructions and tasks into smaller, easier-to-manage parts, use visual aids to organize thoughts and increase understanding of information, use technological aids to support memory difficulties and challenges with staying on task, understand time-related interventions that address time perception, time orientation, and time management. Identify optimal environmental conditions that emphasize strengths. Identify occupations where client factors are a strength and not a barrier. And identify community supports. Occupational therapists have an essential role in improving occupational performance for people with ADHD.